Real estate agencies see a record rise in rental vacancies, up 122% from last year. That's 13,000 empty apartments. And as that goes on, we've got real violence in the streets, a massive increase in shootings. This is New York over the past month, up more than 176%. That's shootings in New York compared to last year. Again, we'll show you 6th Avenue, right in the middle of Midtown Manhattan, right before lunch hour, and it is empty. Our next guest says the city is, wait for it, dead forever. James Altucher says this, former hedge fund manager, lifelong New Yorker, author of that book, Skip the Line. James, welcome to the program. Let's get right at it. You say dead forever, dead forever. You got to explain that.
Well, look at what you just said about 6th Avenue. It's empty. So first off, we have something like 30 to 50% of the restaurants in New York City are probably already out of business and they're not coming back. Now, the offices in Midtown, this is where most of the millions of workers go to work in New York City. Why is it empty? They're allowed to be open, but most companies now are encouraging workers to be remote. Citigroup, JP Morgan, Google, Twitter, Facebook, they want employees to be remote for maybe years or permanently. This completely damages not only the economic ecosystem of New York City, the restaurants, transportation, office buildings, commercial real estate, but what happens to the tax base when all of your workers can now live anywhere they want in the country, not even the suburbs. They're going to go to all of the cities like Nashville, Miami, Austin, Denver. They're leaving the city because they can work in places that have a cheaper cost of living, lower tax basis. And what happens to the tax revenues of New York just at the same time that deficits are soaring? So all of these numbers and, apocalyptic, statistics that you were just quoting, what's going to reverse that? It's only going to get worse.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think it's very sad, James. I mean, look, I've lived in the New York area for 40 years. I love this city. It is a truly great city. I've lived in London. I've lived in all over the world in great cities. And this is a great city. And it grieves me to hear you say it's dead forever. Is there no hope at all? I mean, sure, it can come back a little bit, can't it? It just won't be like it was.
Well, look, I was born here. I've lived here for my whole adult life, and I have 5 kids in New York City. But yes, I don't think we're going to see a return to the old New York. The good news is that means financial opportunity, creative opportunity, artistic opportunity. This is going to be dispersed for the first time throughout the entire country now. It's not going to be isolated to just 1 or 2 spots like New York or San Francisco or LA. Everybody's going to have opportunity. But the reality is remote, what makes this different now is bandwidth is 10 times faster than it was in 2008. So people really can work remotely now and have an increase in productivity.
James, I've got to go, but look, I like your ideas there. That's very interesting stuff, even if it's a little disheartening. James, thanks for joining us. I've got to leave you.